Hello, this is Leornas. I'm Factory Product Management, and today we're going to change a motor. The motor we're going to change is a PSC motor, permanent split capacitor motor, and it's a great option for schools. We use one motor across all of our model families for the unit ventilators, and the UVs and verticals and horizontal units. And what that does for us is we can use one 5th horsepower motor, and we use it in combination with the auto transformer. And we wire the transformer to the motor, and with different voltage tabs, we assign different speeds. So that allows you to have one motor across your family. The other type of motor we have an option for is an ECM motor, and it gives you a little bit better efficiency than the PSC motor. You do have to have an ECM motor if you have any static with a horizontal application. But other than that, it is just an option for higher efficiency. It also gives you a little bit better in terms of sound because ECM motors ramp on and off, PSC motors turn off and on. Okay, I removed all the access panels. We have 3 access panels across the front. And I have one more access panel I'm going to remove. We call it the coil baffle. I'm going to take it off just so I have a little bit more room for it to reach my shaft of my motor. So, I have 2 screws holding it in. The quantity of screws depends on what size the unit is, but it's 4 to 6 screws across the top and 3 on each side. So I'm taking those off now. Hopefully my tools are my friend today. Okay. 3 down each side. Our motors are always located on the right side of the unit. That's our high-powered side. And our low-voltage side, the left side that I'm on right now, will hold your controls if you have low-voltage controls. But I'm going to go over to the right-hand side. That's where the motor is located. We're going to work down here. This is the auto transformer I was talking about, and the wiring to the motor off of voltage taps. And there is your max high-low switch that is wired to the voltage taps off the auto transformer. Now say you want a different high than high, it's your unit, and you want to move the high down a little bit from nominal. You can do that. You change your voltage tap off your auto transformer. It does say 90 volts, you go down to 80 volts or 76 volts. There's 8 different options. Okay, I got my panel off, and I'm going to pull back my insulation here, because there's an access panel right here. You can see the shaft. So I have it pulled back. I'm going to try to gently put that there to hold the insulation, but hold it a little offset from my top so I don't scratch it. Okay, hold my screws. Now we're going to get to the motor now. I have a plug I'm going to unfasten and just keep it down here. And the tool I used was a 5/16 hex wrench, Allen wrench, to get those access panels off, 1/4-inch screws across. And now I'm using a 7/16 wrench on this red bolt, it's always red, to get this bolt off. Some people call it a belly band, some people call it a motor mount. It just needs to be loosened, not taken off, because it is squeezing my motor. I need it to unsqueeze to get it off, and I'll squeeze it back on to get it back on. But that's the first thing I do, is loosen this a little bit. And then I'm going to go over to my coupling and unfasten it so my motor pulls off. Notice I'm doing everything from the front, just in case, get that off in a second, just in case you have shelving over here. I'm trying to do everything from the front. It is easier if you remove this panel too, but if you only have access here, you can work on your motor. Your set screw is all the way to the side here that holds shaft coupling motor. So I've got the closest set screw to the motor is what I'm unfastening now. Okay, and then should be able to keep that there so I remember where it's at. Oh, yep, I pulled my motor out now. Now what I'm going to want to do is take this screw off back here. And to do that, I want to set my motor. I use a little box. Set my motor on so it doesn't pull that screw off, break my connection. So pull this out, and that way I can access that screw without going if I have no access from the front. Okay, just give it a little bit. Now I can get my 1/4 inch back there. Remember, I have a screw down there, and I can take my motor out. And motor's out. Then I go get my new motor. You don't usually want to put the same motor back in. You replace the motor. If this was an ECM motor, on the end of the motor would be the electronic board. And with that, on the very end, the cap end, we put a sticker, and we'll have a program number, a factory program number on it. It's very important to send the factory program number to us with your purchase order so that you know what to program your motor. Excuse me. Okay. Now, also with the ECM motor, you have a shroud, and it's a little sheet metal covering, and you always need to put your shroud back on because it allows air to circulate around your motor. So that's the key difference between a PSC motor changeout and an ECM. Now, what I'm doing is I'm reaching my shaft. That's why I removed this panel. Pull it up and push the motor toward the coupling and the shaft toward the motor. This face of the motor goes all the way against the insulation, and you get about a 1/4 inch. Oh, I do need to do that. Thank you. I need to do that screw. That's a good idea. I need to, because I'm coming from the front, I need to screw that ground wire in first. Good point. Lost a little bit of time there, but that's okay. Goes down here. Okay. It's okay. I got it. To pushing this in. Thanks, because I would have been having this whole thing done and then I didn't have my ground wire and that would not be good, so now the ground wire is attached. Capacitor on top, shaft over, pull up into my motor, same time as pulling, and we'll have a connection. There we go. Okay, set screws toward the front by rotating the shaft. Hex key, get to my set screw. I need the one over on the right. If for some reason your shaft comes off of your set screw, there are 2 more. I haven't seen it happen, but just in case, there's 2 other set screws that need to be tightened also. Okay, that's tight. Now, let's start putting this back together. Fasten the motor to the belly band. We're going to hold that. And we're going to find my tool. You see where my socket went? And it fell off. Okay, bear with me for a second. Let's get that socket tool up. There it is. Cool. Tools like to hide from me today. Okay. Now, here we go. Now we want it in the opposite direction. And it doesn't have to be super tight. We just want it to not come off and hold our motor. Motor's on. It's up against the insulation. Now let's start. Oh, yep, cable. Thank you. Don't forget your cable. And red on top. One thing to note, you have a wiring diagram. To remember where all your wiring is, especially if it's an ECM motor, it will be the right side of your unit. So always put your panel back where the right side is your wiring diagram. we're going to lift her back up, screws on top of this panel. There. All right. I'm going to line her up and get out of here. As long as I don't keep locking screws, good to go. Start threading them up. All right. Now, remember with the differences between your PSC and ECM motor is the shroud. Don't forget to put your shroud back on. Don't forget to reconnect. You have two harness connections for ECM motor and one for a PSC. You're going to have, we also have a variable speed motor option. So if you have that option, you're going to have one more control board that your motor is wired to. So check your wiring diagram. It's going to tell you what type of motor you have. Top and then 3 across, and we're almost home. And is on my key today. Okay, we're going to come back to here. Here, I suggest you get a little close to, like me, who I can search for me. Because I don't do this every day. But if I did, I want those handy dandy belts would help. Okay. I'd ask any questions. Fabian, do you have any questions?
Okay.
No? Tell some motor tips, but I don't have any more motor tips. All right, we're almost done. This is concluding the motor change out. As you can see, it's not that difficult. And you only have a few panels to remove. If you have any questions, contact your support group and we can help you out. Thank you and have a good day.